So thank you very much, Pooja, for inviting us. I'll just take 2 minutes to introduce Professor Yehuda Safran and the Urban Typhoon Workshop. So Yehuda Safran comes back a long way, the story of Yehuda Safran and the Urban Typhoon Workshop, because those workshops were started in Tokyo, in Shimokitazawa, in 2006. It was a situation in a conflicted situation in a neighborhood of Tokyo which was threatened by a redevelopment project, and a group of activists from the neighborhood and academics from the University of Tokyo and other universities came together and organized a one-week-long workshop about the neighborhood, which aimed at thinking about alternative futures for the neighborhood of Shimokitazawa, and also oppose the redevelopment project, which was one of a big road going through the neighborhood, and propose alternative solutions. And at this occasion, Professor Safran accepted to come all the way from New York, and has been a strong presence and influence and a big inspiration for the workshop and the format of the workshops. So those workshops are multidisciplinary, and they try to reach out as much as possible and as deep as possible into the neighborhoods in which we're working. Following this workshop in Tokyo, we did another workshop together with Rahul Srivastava in Dharavi, in Mumbai, and again Yehuda Safran joined us. And that was a one-week-long workshop in the neighborhood of Koliwada, which is a fisherman village in Dharavi, a neighborhood which is maybe as old as 400 years old. And again, we worked intimately with residents of Dharavi Koliwada for a week, and produced some form of giant brainstorming about the neighborhood, and something which tried at looking at something which is very intangible, and something which architects, when they are alone, are not always good at, or engineers or urban planners, which is way beyond the qualitative or the quantitative nature of a neighborhood. So we're not at all trying to create maps or ask surveys or quantify in any way, but rather again look at all forms of expression and identity that we could find in the neighborhood. So looking at oral history of Dharavi Koliwada, looking at how space is being used by different constituencies of the neighborhood, looking at the boundaries within. So again, and in these two occasions, one thing that Yehuda Safran has been working on, and in both cases, in Shimokitazawa on Koliwada, was to produce some form of manifesto for the neighborhood. So those manifestos have also been guiding our approach after this, and for many of our other works. And he came once more in Mumbai for another workshop that we organized in the neighborhood of Girgaon and Kotachiwadi, and that's the fourth time he's joining us for these workshops. So we're really happy just to say a few words about Yehuda Safran. He was trained as a sculptor in St. Martin's in London. So he comes with an approach which is always that of an artist, and some people say a poet. And he's been teaching in many places since then, including the Architectural Association in London. Then he moved to Columbia University. He's teaching also at Harvard and Nanjing University, and in Beijing also. He's regularly invited for lectures and all over the world. So it's an immense privilege for us to have him with us, and to also. He also makes us understand and believe that it's possible to bring high theory, high philosophy all the way to the neighborhood and back to the realm of theory and philosophy. So I think this is a dimension that we've always been very keen on developing and strengthening. And this time again, in Kilki, at the invitation of Coach We've been very happy to engage in all sets of issues, and in a very free, very creative way. And in a way, the coming together of those urban typhoon workshops with Coach is a very important moment, another defining moment in some form of activism, which brings now the world of art and creativity in a new way and with a new strength, with the world of urban planning, urban development, on community development. So we're extremely happy, and we have to thank very much Asta, who's been developing contacts in the neighborhood for the past 6 years, who's been working very close to the people over here, and her work and Andy's work, who joined Coach about 1 year ago, 2 years ago.
No, just very recently.
Okay, recently.
Months back.
Okay, but still got very strongly rooted in the neighborhood very quickly. So they made this possible. So this workshop is in no way something which is standing alone in some type of void. It's connected to the work of Coach that the Coach has been doing for the past 6 years, and it will continue. Lots of the activities that we started now are going to continue afterwards. And of course, thank you so much to Pooja for making this possible. And thank you, an enormous thank to Yoda Safran for coming and accepting to give a lecture today in front of all of us. So thank you very much, Professor Safran.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you for the Coach team, for Jan that made it possible. Thank you for Matthias, and whose initiative is always so inspiring. And it's perfectly true that I have always looked for this kind of connection. I always felt that indeed whatever is theoretical must find its connection with the world itself. But as you will see in what follows, that my approach to the world itself is exactly has the same complexity. I'm very happy that some of my old friends came, Peter Kapoor and Ivan. I'm so appreciative that the people I didn't know until yesterday also came. Ashish, who had the privilege of studying with the same people that I have worked with at the AA. And of course, whatever one thing is not only physiognomy, but also biography. And there's no doubt that the way that I was brought up in a commune which had the highest aspiration, which no longer exists, does shape my as it were, my disposition in the world. It is as if everyone has a certain kind of stance vis-à-vis the existence which he acquired one way or another, and that stance shaped one's thinking and one's experience and one's understanding. And today I will introduce something that might appear to you at the first moment rather remote, but on reflection, I hope that you may realize the importance of it. The title, as I have suggested, is the object is the poetics.